Hi all, in this video you will learn about release approvals and gates which is part of Azure pipelines. Release approvals and gates in Azure pipelines are basically gives us additional control during the start and the completion of the deployment pipeline. So in each stage in a release pipeline we can configure pre and post deployment conditions. So the conditions can be the approvals or the gates. So coming to the approvals, so with the pre-deployment approvals, the environment owner or a user has to manually validate the change request or the build and approve the deployment of the application to a stage. Whereas in post-deployment approvals, the user has to manually approve the app after the deployment to the particular environment, but before releasing it or promoting it to the next stage. So the user or team may run a bunch of smoke tests or basically monitor the application and see whether the application is working fine. So based on these outcomes, app might be approved or rejected for the further deployment. So this was about the approvals, right? Coming to the gates, uh, gates help us through validate the conditions through automated way. It can be like with the pre-deployment gates where we want to ensure there are no active bugs, right? We can query the work item tracking system and get to know that. So we can use either of these gates and uh, do a automated validation. We can use a query work item as a gate, or even we can use uh, Azure monitor alerts where basically we want to query the alerts, and based on the result we can say the gate is passed or failed. Like if we find any exceptions from the Azure Monitor alerts. Based on that, we can the gate will pass or fail, and then the approver can take a decision whether to promote it to the next environment. Also, we can use custom gates, basically the custom extensions. Like for one of them is the verify code coverage. So this is again a custom gates developed. This like it can be used in a pre-deployment gates where I want to check the code coverage results, and maybe I want to define a certain threshold if the number of blocks or the lines are covered or not covered is certain value, and based on that we can pass or fail the gates. So the steps of the scenario are referred from the the below the release gate Azure DevOps lab document, and it is also mentioned in the description. This is a general build and release workflow. So when a user edits the code and commits to the repo, the CI build will be triggered, and after successful build completion, the the CD pipeline, the release pipeline will be triggered, and the application will be deployed to different staging environments like development environment or canary environment, and after that it is promoted to QA or production. So this is a you can say a general build and release workflow. Now let's see if the same workflow if it can be enhanced with pre and post deployment conditions. So basically, after the build completion, when we start the release, the continuous deployment, okay, and before we deploy to any environment, if we want to have a pre-deployment gates or approvals, right? So we can have a pre-deployment gate, basically like let's say a work item query where we want to trigger a query and check if there are any active bugs. So if there are any active bugs, then stop the gate will fail and we will stop the release. Or if there are no active bugs, then it goes to the approver, then manually the user will approve, and it is deployed to the dev or canary environment. So once this is deployed to the dev and before promoting to the production or or any next environment, we can apply the post deployment gates like monitoring the application, right? And uh, run few tests, and if we can, let's say, monitor the application for 5 hours or 10 hours. So it all depends on the team strategy. So based on the outcome, if there are no exception thrown, or if there are no incidents in the from the management system, incident management system, then the app can be deployed to the production environment. Let's see the demo how the pre and post deployment conditions can be applied. This is the team project release gates demo, and I have the sample application called Parts Unlimited, and I have the CI pipeline ready, and even the release definition or the release pipeline. Okay, the application is already deployed, so this is the application which is already running. So let's say we want to modify this discount percentage, and the user checks in, basically commits the code, then we'll see how the CI will trigger, then the uh, the release pipeline with all the pre and post conditions. So if you go to the release pipeline, uh, so we have defined here the pre-deployment approval. Okay, so we have one user, and even we have enabled the gates, which is basically query work items. So I can go here and click on add. I can see all the different gates available. So it can be checking Azure policy compliance, or invoke Azure function which will do some processing and gets back the result, and based on that the gate will validate pass or fail. So similarly, invoking a REST API, or querying the Azure monitor alerts and see if there are any exception thrown, and based on that again validate the gate. Or it can be a custom extension called verify code coverage, which basically gets the code coverage data, and we can put certain conditions. If the blocks or the lines not covered, you know if it is less than certain value, then proceed, or else like fail it. So if you click on this query work items, here we can see the details and the evaluation process, where we have, like, set the timing, and this is the query I'm selecting to trigger and check the result. So, and we have a uphold threshold value. So if we get any number above 0, that is 1 2, then the gate will fail. So similarly, we have a post deployment conditions. Okay, so we have a post deployment approval, and if we go to the gates, uh, again we are using a query Azure monitor alert. So this basically again connects to my resource group, Azure resource group, and the application insight, and identifies certain severity incidents, and if it is like, if it finds any incidents, then the gate will fail. So again we have evaluation options, where we define how much time between the evaluation of the gates, and total timeout, and other details. So here we're saying first run the gate. Okay, once it is successful, then ask for the approvals. Okay, so let's modify the code, commit, and see how this process works. Let me go to the source code, and then modify it. Let's say this is going to be 35%, and let me commit. So I've committed the code, and now let me go to the pipelines and see if the build is triggered, and we can see here the build is triggered. So just acquiring the agent, and it's going to start. So I'm using the hosted agent here. So we'll wait for the build to complete, and once this is done, it will automatically trigger the release definition, because I've set up the trigger as continuous deployment. Okay, then the pre-deployment gate and the approval will be triggered. We'll see how this works. So the build is started. So yeah, it's in progress. In the meantime, let's see the Azure part also, where we have created the web apps, then application insight, and the Azure Monitor alerts. Let me go to my Azure portal, uh, and this is the resource group. I have a parts unlimited can release as a one app service, and we have a production release. And for the can release, we have the application insight defined. So let me click on that, and you can see all the metrics here. And if I go to the alerts, so yeah, currently we don't have any alerts. And if I go to the manage alert rules, so this is the alert which is already defined, called failed request. So we want to see, like, whenever I access the application, if there are any failed request, and it will be those alerts will be sent here, which in the release gates we are going to capture, and based on that we'll say that the gate will validate as a pass or fail. So the build is completed. uh, yeah, we can see the build is done. So let's go to the release pipeline, and we can see the release is already started, and we can see here it's already processing the gates. So here we can see the query work item. It is failed because we might have a active bugs open, right? So let me go to queries and click on bugs, and we can see here one bug is in new state, right, or in active state. So I'm going to close this and save. So let's say that we have resolved this bug, and let's wait for the next the evaluation process to run. So since we have given like 5 minutes between the the evaluation phase, so it's going to be run in next 5 minutes. So this time the gate will pass, and it will proceed to the next that is basically the approval, and once it is approved, it is going to be deployed on the dev environment or canary environment. Till the time the gates is running, let's see how to create an alert here. So under the application insight, and we have the under monitoring, we have alert section. I can click on new alert. Then this is a scope, that is the app insight. Then I can select a condition here, and I can search for failed request signal. Select it, click on done, and then give the alert rule name, and save it. So once this is done, the alert will be created, and it will capture for the all the failed requests. Now we can see that the pre-deployment, that is the query work item gates, is successful. It has returned 0 items, and the gate is passed. Okay, so now I have to go and approve, so that the application will be deployed. So let me click on approve now. Now we can see the deployment task started. Now the application is being deployed. And once it is the deployment is done, the post deployment approval or gates will be triggered. So here basically we are going to, you know, monitor the application, monitor for the alerts, and based on that the gates will pass or fail. So you can see here the post deployment gates, the evaluation has started and it started monitoring. So let me go to the application and refresh it and see whether the changes have been deployed. So you can see that the discount rate has been changed to 35%. So just for the demo purpose, I'm going to have this failed request things in the application. So when I click on more, we'll see that there's some error here. So this basically sends an alert in the backend system, in the monitoring system, that some failed requests are there. So I'm going to click this more button couple of times so that there are some failed request alerts generated. So you can see here there is a severity 3 error or alert, which is basically the failed request, right? And there is a severity 2 request also, which is basically the server exceptions. Let's see the release gates. What has happened? Yeah, you can see that it has failed because it have got some exceptions here. So you can see for this particular failed request as a alert. If you see here, the first evaluation started at 141, then 5 minutes there was a second, and in next 5 minutes there will be one more. So basically these things are based on the settings here we have done. So the delay before evaluation, so we have given 5 minutes. So uh, you know the actual evaluation starts after 5 minutes, and once it starts, then time between the evaluation is 5 minutes, and the total timeout for the entire thing is 6 minutes. So it will be like the first evaluation starts, but before that there's a 5 minutes delay. Then once the after 5 minutes, the evaluation triggers and gets the details from this Azure monitor details, and based on the results it will pass or fail. So now there was a 5 minutes delay, and after that we have got two things, two evaluations done. Okay, and now within a minute this gate will be completed. So now the result, yeah, you can see now the result is failed because of the server exceptions or the failed request exceptions which has been thrown in the system, right? So now this helps us to decide whether it should be promoted to the next environment or we should stop here. Yeah, so since the condition was like if it is successful, then I can go and approve this release. If the gates is failure, then there is no option about approving it or proceeding further. So again those things are defined here. We can have that on successful gates only ask for approvals, or before the gates are triggered, approve it, and based on the gates result it will proceed further without any approvals once it is approved before the gates are triggered. Or it can be ignore the gates outcome, whatever it may be, pass or fail, ask for approval, and the approver can decide based on maybe the approver can go and check the monitoring results, and based on that take a decision whether to proceed further or not. Okay, so this was the example about the post deployment gates and particularly the Azure Monitor alerts. Let me show you one more example about the pre-deployment gates, that is code coverage, how that can be done. So it's basically a custom extension developed by Canaries Automations. Let me show the demo on that. So I've got another team project called Parts Unlimited, and in that, if I come to the release section, I have gates as a release definition. Let me go to the release pipeline, and if I go to the pre-deployment conditions, I have the approvals. Then if I go to the gates, I have this verify code coverage. So what this basically does is, like, I can select here the build output or the build artifact, okay, and then define which module has to be, like, referred, right, where I can check for this particular module's code coverage details. Either it can be a code coverage type, maybe a line or a block, and here I can define the threshold. This can be defined based on the code coverage results we get out of the build. So let's see the first the code coverage results from the build. Let me go to the pipelines, and let me go to the parts unlimited pipeline. So this is the build definition, so where we test the application, run the unit test cases, and have enabled code coverage. Okay, now if I go to the latest build results, and we can see the code coverage details, and if I go to the code coverage section and download it, let me open this. So it will open in Visual Studio, and we can see the code coverage results here. For the Parts Unlimited DLL, the number of blocks not covered is 3294, and the percentage and the blocks covered. So we are basically checking for the not covered. If uh, I have put here the number, so let me go to the gates. So here I have defined a 3295. So let me define here 3293. So this will make the gates as failed, right? Here the not covered is 3294 blocks. So now if I say that in the gates the threshold value is 3293, okay, then it's definitely going to fail. So if it is let's say we allow this much blocks even if it is not covered, right? So let's say 3295 or 32 yeah 3295, if we allow these many blocks, if it is not covered still, then the gate will pass. So this is a condition. Again, I think it's just a custom extension. So here there are a lot of improvements again, like instead of selecting the particular build artifact, we should have option to select latest, and here also we should have option to define the coverage, like not covered and covered kind of thing. Okay, so let's try this and see how it works. So I have changed the value to 3293. Let me save this. Okay, and now let me trigger the release because I'm assuming the build is done. If I go to the, yeah, so this is the latest build which is already have put it here in the artifact section. Okay, so let me create a release and see how this works. Yeah, now you can see the pre-deployment conditions have been started, and we can see that initially it has failed because it is checking for the condition blocks not covered and value is 3293, but if you see the value is basically 3294. So if I go and change the value in the gates to 3295, then this gates will pass. This is just an example. So this was the initial evaluation, and we'll have in next 5 minutes one more evaluation, and based on that the gate will validate pass or fail. Till the time the evaluation happens, I want to explain the other things here. Like, okay, yeah, this was for the code coverage, gate section, and for all the gates, there is the evaluation option. So here you would have seen that earlier, where we can give the time between the evaluation. So this is always like minimum is 5, and from that you can give any value. Like if I type for 4, you can see that it gives an error. So either it can be between 5 to 1440 minutes. Minutes, hours, and even days also are there available. Okay, so let's see if the build is done. Yeah, so you can see it's almost done here. uh, this the verify code coverage, it's failed because the not blocked number is 3294, right? But we have set a threshold of 3293, so this gate will definitely fail. So it's going to time out in next 2 minutes. So this is basically for every 5 minutes, the evaluation happens, and we would have set up the total timeout duration also, right? So based on that, if we had set up a total duration as timeout duration as 20 minutes, then it would have continued for 2-3 evaluation intervals, right? Now since we have set up as 6, the evaluation duration total, you can see timeout duration is 6 minutes, so it's going to expire in next 1 minute. Yeah, so the pre-deployment gate has failed. Let me go and change the value here for 5, and we can check how this works. So I've changed the value as 5, and rest of the settings are same. So let's trigger the release one more time and see how this works. Yeah, again the pre-deployment gate is being triggered, and now you can see this time it has passed. Yeah, so yeah, so basically I wanted to show you how the release gates and the approvals help us add more control over the deployments. So where we can control, like whether I want to promote this particular build to the next stage. I can do some monitoring, do some test. Either it can be a manual way or it can be an automated way, and gather all this information so that I can take a decision to promote this code to the, or deploy to this code to the production environment. So you can see that the deployment gates is successful, and it is asking for the approval. So once I approve, the deployment starts. Yeah, so so this is what I wanted to show in this demo on the release gates and the approvals. Thank you for watching the video.